Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram users. This is FOB Fuego. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone is doing well. The time of this recording is October 16th, 2016. This is another attempt at doing another podcast I was doing the night before. I want to say there was a few nights ago where there was supposed to be another podcast coming out. And unfortunately, my device that I was recording on did not get any of the footage, and it stopped way too freaking early, so I talked to myself for like an hour, and nobody listened. So, hopefully, it's not the same case today. It might not be just as long. Maybe it might be less. But, as of right now, it was due to the announcement of a game, as many of y'all know what I'm playing, Street Fighter 5. And it was a actual, I don't want to say commercial failure, but it hit a rough patch in the beginning due to a lot of things that have happened. Now, as of late, in the last few days, I'm trying to remember what day it was. If you give me just one moment, please. I want to see when Arcade Edition was. Edition SF5. It was announced on the 5th of October, so it was literally almost a week, pretty much, when it was last updated. Now, why is it such a big deal? To me, this is the reason why, okay? Like I said in the beginning, it hit a very rough patch in the very beginning because it was lacking a lot of things, and it was something that was addressed way before Street Fighter 5 ever came out. Now, to be honest with you, whenever Street Fighter 5 was first announced, I was not excited. I thought it was still a little, not too soon, but I thought as of like today, we would still be playing Ultra Street Fighter 4 and be ready for like a complete game. Sony paid Capcom to make Street Fighter 5, and then we made it to where we got early access to play it during the beta, and we got to play it on the new console and on the PC. And not only that, they wanted it to happen so bad that they didn't allow, or they didn't give, Sony just said, we want you to make this game strictly for us and Steam. So Xbox didn't have a chance to do anything. So now they claim that they didn't want it, and that's them. That's on them. That's totally their prerogative. But Street Fighter 5 was being made. Now, it's been a year and 8 months now since Street Fighter 5 has been released. And a lot of people I've talked to, some friends, colleagues, assholes, say that the game is not good. The game is not fun. And I totally understand that. I totally get where they're coming from. Some characters that they wanted are not there, and for some people that I know personally that have a character that they've been waiting for, they didn't like the way that the character came out. Which got me thinking, like, what do people want in the game? And people would just give me this answer today. They want fun. They want to be able to have fun. The core mechanic of the game is flawless. The fighting is fun. The fighting is rewarding. The fighting is everything. What Capcom managed to do with this game was they made it to where you have to commit to your actions, and not a lot of moves are safe. Which I can respect that. It's more like you're gonna commit. You're not gonna do like random stuff to make it like, crazy, and you're gonna be fighting aggressively or uncontrollably, a crazy style, as I like to call it. Street Fighter 5 kind of took that away, and it's more a controlled environment, and you say these are the tools you're going to use, and you have to beat the other opponent. Every character could beat every other opponent. Certain matchups are maybe harder than others, but it is possible to beat other characters. People do not want to do a lot of work to be good. People are a lot older now from what the last game came out when it was Ultra Street Fighter 4. Matured, and we all got used to a mindset that what Street Fighter 4 was doing. Now, that being said, I was okay in Street Fighter 4, Ultra Street Fighter 4. I didn't know there was a fighting game community when Street Fighter 4 first launched. Now, what I noticed was, in the beginning, Street Fighter 4, I thought the game was dead because I thought it was dead in the beginning because I didn't see anybody else playing it around my town. I didn't hear a lot of people talk about it. Just me and my brother. We were the only ones that played it. And it got to the point to where I had to watch. Like, I was thinking, like, man, do people even play this game? Because, like, I want to play it. And Fighters of Big Time was formed. We started playing Marvel versus Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3. And then after a while, when people started playing that, and then I was like, you know what, I want to play Street Fighter. So when the people were still playing Marvel, I kind of helped begin the branching off from other games where people could play Street Fighter, or people playing Injustice or Tekken, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until around that time I found out that there was a fighting game community and Evo. When I found out there was an Evo, I was like, okay, so there is a community that supports this game, and they keep playing this game. Arcade Edition was announced. Arcade Edition 2012 was announced. Ultra Street Fighter 4. The rest is history. Up until when it was Ultra Street Fighter 4, that was the most active I've been in that game. I didn't play it all the time. Actually, there was like at least a good time where I didn't play it for a whole year and a half until I found out people were still playing it. Until the end of the life cycle of Ultra Street Fighter 4. And I kept playing it. I was like, I'm gonna get better at this game. I'm gonna learn this stuff, and you know. Now, I did not learn the FADC combos. I did not learn any of the very technical stuff. And helped to my advantage when Street Fighter 5 Beta came out. First off, let me first say thank you to Zachary Nefgar, or Nefigar. I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce her name. He was the one that got me the beta for Street Fighter 5. If it wasn't for him, I would not have been able to play the beta. So thank you. As a result, my very first match was on PC because I didn't have a PS4. And something cool happened. Granted, when Street Fighter 4 first came out, my first online match, I got bodied pretty hard. Street Fighter 5 beta comes out, my first online match, I ended up winning. I had at least maybe like a 10-game win streak online on the beta, on the beta period. Me starting to play the game actually got me to feel more accomplished because the stuff that I have learned from Street Fighter 4 kind of almost translated into Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 is a completely different game from what the last predecessor was. No, not enough bar to make the move safe. You have to commit. I'm for that. I'm totally for that. You can't really jump around or escape that easily unless you don't have that much room in the like in the fighting space, which I love that too. It's a little bit more zoomed in than the other games because the more distant the camera is, the more room, the space you have, and Street Fighter 5 kind of keeps them more in a more intimate space. And so I'm getting excited for the game. Everyone's getting excited for it. Game Guys Warehouse, they're like, we want to do this, do that, and this game is gonna like rejuvenate the Houston FGC. And when the night that it came out, we had the tournament. It was a 44-man tournament. After that, I've only maybe seen 10 to 12 people play it afterwards that come every week to play Street Fighter 5. One of the reasons why was because of the content inside the game, which is what I want to talk about today. The topic of today's story is this. Is arcade mode necessary, aka story mode, necessary for fighting games. Because this is what happened with Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V came out online ready, which was ranked match, casual match, and battle lounge. For your online, which that covered that, to where you could play other players, earn your ranks, fight stronger fighters. Capcom's Fighter Network give you the opportunity to follow players that you have fought or add them to your list. That way you can keep having matches with them. Look at replays and see the progress that other people are doing. Survival mode, easy, medium, hard, and very hard, which used to be hell or extreme. I forgot what it's called now. But it used to be called hell. I'm still call it hell, which gives you fight money and the little story modes that came with the characters whenever you play it. 1 to 5 matches, I believe, or 1 to 3, depending on who you selected or how the story's going. And that's it. Okay? Now, not a lot of content for it, but if it's a complete, to people, it's not a complete game. The core concept of fighting games is that you have to be able to play another person, or you want to play another person, you'll be able to do that. And that's true. You have, if you can only play against yourself, against the computer, it's not a real fighting game because you're not playing against yourself. You're playing against the computer, the software. And people were complaining about that. When people say, "Oh, like, there's no," the biggest complaint was there was no arcade mode or story mode. Now, a story mode was added, which kind of interlocked all the characters together in one massive story, which was the first time that Capcom has ever done anything like that. And it was free. Alright? And the characters, like I said, each have their own little story that kind of shows the reason why that they are there, or what is going on, and how do they end up where they are. So, is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with the fact that this is what Capcom did? Is this not acceptable in today's standards? Because a lot of people say back in the day when it was the cartridges and all that, whenever it was Super Nintendo or PlayStation or friggin' Xbox One, not the one, but the original one. When you got the disc, that was it. There was no updates to it. There was just padding, and it was just the fact that what you got was what you got, and that's what you're going to be playing. And some people are still playing CVS 2, and which is fine at all. Tournament, the way that a lot of people have seen it, and some people have told me, is that it doesn't really work good with tournament because one, the game takes a good while to get through it, and there's a lot of stuff to remember, and it's very time consuming because it takes too long. I'm not saying it's boring. It's just it takes too long, and then once you actually be like, yeah, this is taking too long, you want to see something else. But the game is complete. Okay, it has an arcade mode, no story mode, 3 versus 3, crazy characters in there, a lot of possibilities, and a lot of group selects, which basically is kind of like the I don't want to say V triggers, but the group selects are like added attributes to its existing character, and they actually could do a parry, or you could do a roll tag, or short hops, like each perks from the certain games that where it came from. It is okay, and people still play it to this day. Now, the reason why people keep playing it to this day is not because they want to win tournament. They're playing it because it's fun. To these people, this is fun. This is what they like about it, which I can respect that. I can maybe the game never caught my attention, but I respect the players that play it. But to each their own. once they actually start seeing other games coming out like Street Fighter Five, they want it not to be like CVS two. They want it to be fun, which is totally the point of a game. You want it to be fun. That's the reason why you want people to play it. And it's to people, it's not fun. Street Fighter Five is just not fun for people. So it kind of makes you think like, what's the point of playing this game? People got upset whenever this game dropped. It was $60 for an incomplete game. And as a result, people by that moment they're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna get them. Wait till the price drop." Right now, the game is $20, and it's like basically, sitting in shelves at Walmart. But this is what I wanted to talk about here. There's another game that was out there for a while, and it just not too long ago, and it was at the end of September. It was sent to Steam. Okay, and it's a game that's been out since the launch of the Xbox One. I'm talking about Killer Instinct. Okay, Killer Instinct, whenever it dropped, it was free. The only catch is that only one character was available for a week or two, and then they swapped it to a whole new character, no matter what it was, by random, and you get to use one character if you wanted to play it. You still get to play online, but the character that you have for that week, that's the one you have to use. And which people were okay with because it was free. And it only came with 8 characters at launch. So what was Season 1 like back then? Because I managed to play Season 1 whenever it was on the Xbox One. It had a story mode, online, and that was it. More modes were being added later, over time, but because it was free, people were okay with it. So Season 1 had like maybe 8 characters. Season 2 then added 9 more, and then Season 3 added to 11. But we're going to keep this at Season 1 because that's the one that I actually got to play, and that's the one I actually owned. After Season 1, I kind of dropped the game, and then I was still playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. Now, the story mode, aka arcade mode, because that's what it played like, each character had 3 endings that you could earn. Like, certain conditions were do the Ultra to every character, or Ultra your rival, or basically just beat the arcade mode and you get one of the endings. And something cool would happen if you actually met those requirements with another set of requirements for another thing, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. The story mode in Street Fighter V was just a long story mode with all the characters. That was it. Nothing more, nothing less. But it did show the story of what was going on and what was happening in the entire grand scheme of things, which is fine. Okay, Season 1 for Street Fighter V had at a total was 16 characters. 16. The DLC for the game when it first was first coming out. When the game first came out, it was $60. Now it's been brought down to $20. They have a lot of hard copies that nobody's selling. Like I said, sitting at the shelves. The story mode for each character is 1 to 3 fights on average. Main story using all the characters in a long playthrough. But there was no secret boss. There was no artwork or anything. No gallery, so on and so forth. I'm trying to remember if Killer Instinct Season 1 had anything like that, but I cannot recall if they did. They did have a ending view where you could look at the endings, and it was just stills of the 3D models doing a certain action and the story and the music playing, and there's a caption on the bottom explaining what was going on with the camera angle moving, which looked okay, which is nice. They could have made it into a little animation, but it was free, and it kept it from being it just kept it interesting. It made you want to play all the other characters to earn all the intros and not the intros, the endings. It had the training mode. I'm trying to remember if it had survival mode. I don't think it did for KI. But it did not have a lot of modes. Outside of the online play in Street Fighter, and there's not a lot of offline options for you to do. Story mode and survival. And that's it. And training if you want to count that as a mode. Not much to do on there. Okay? The point of that was just when you're playing that game, you're playing to get yourself better. You're playing to learn, and you're playing to learn bad matchups. Now, what I give Street Fighter 5 credit for, and at least they did something about this, they had each character have their own little tutorial video on how the characters are used, what are their strengths, and what are their weaknesses. And they had trials that you could use to actually learn bread and butter combos and a little bit more advanced combos to use during the match. That's a plus right there for me, because you want to learn as much as you can about the game and learn bad matchups and exploit other people's weaknesses. That's the fun part for me. Now, frame data helps. KI actually offers it in its own game, which is pretty good. Street Fighter 5 does not, which I wish it did, because if it did, it would be a whole lot more simpler and a lot more better, because they're giving us more information on what to do in certain situations. As of right now, Street Fighter 5 is basically telling us, figure it out on your own and see what happens. Excuse me, drinking some. So there's no point in playing the offline features other than when you beat some of the features, you get fight money, you get trials, you get some fight money to pay for your costumes, stages, so on and so forth. Man, that's pretty loud. That's the garbage truck passing by. Just gotta wait till they pass, that way. Just wait. Gotta wait till it passes. Just wait till it passes. Still waiting. Do 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 do. Charging my attack. Come on. Why would you pass? Tell me your truck broke down or something. Okay, now it's in front of my house, okay? Okay, it's further away now. Okay, now I can keep going. So yeah, Killer Instinct, from what it lacked, it did offer more information than what Street Fighter 5 could offer. Useful information. But those three endings, like what I was talking about, they actually have a meaning in Killer Instinct. Those are prerequisites to actually do a secret battle against a character that was not released in the game until Season 3. That being Shadow Jago. Now, I actually did this a while back, and I did stream it. Unfortunately, I did not have it set to where it would record to my library, so I do not have the footage, unfortunately. Because it happened a long time ago, and I was using the Twitch app on the Xbox One, and I forgot to set it to save the footage on there. You know, I have to turn off my phones because it keeps fucking going off, and I'm trying to do this podcast here, and then I don't want to be popping up all over the place. I'm gonna turn it off. So, sorry. So I actually did the requirements. I was using Saberwolf. Got all 3 of the endings. You had to do at least 4 playthroughs. On the 4th playthrough, if you did all of the right prerequisites right, which was you cannot lose. You cannot not lose like you cannot be beaten 2 rounds. You cannot. You have to be able to ultra the opponent, ultra the rival. And I know there's more steps to it, but if you actually did those things right, you would skip Fuego, which was the end character at the time. You will skip him, and it'll take you to Shadow Jago. Now, Shadow Jago was a bastard in this game, okay? There is a reason why you wanted to fight him. 1, he was the hardest character to fight at the time in the game. He was actually designed to punish moves that you did that were deemed unsafe on your end. And if you were managed to beat him, you would get the stage, which is the variant of the temple stage, but instead of it being like in Jago's original form, which was the just sunlight and the temple being destroyed, you would get a darker version of it, which was nighttime, and it looked cool. And then the music was kind of changed to it as well. It looked badass. So I did the requirements, did everything, and I woke up my brother. He was about to sleep. Like, hey, look, I'm about to fight Shadow Jago. And I got bodied hard. Super hard. I was playing it in the living room at my parents' house. Okay? And I could not hurt him. I could not try. I was doing everything that I could. I had a hard time sending him down to the 2nd health bar. And around the 12th time, my brother's like, okay, man, well, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. Good luck. And he basically left me there because, he knew it was going to take me a while. It took me 55 tries to finally beat him. Now, I did this in the middle of the night. Music was not too loud, and I did not allow myself to start screaming because, 1, I was exhausted. That was the most hard fought battle I've ever been a part of in Killer Instinct. And I got the stage, and for the record, I never had a chance to play the stage because shortly after, my hardware, which is the Xbox One, started messing up, and I had to sell it because it wasn't doing anything good for me anymore. So I did all that fighting for nothing, right? But anyway, that's not the point. The point was that I was rewarded for my efforts, and it was fun. So I enjoyed it. After season 1, though, they started doing move changes to the characters. Not too much, but enough for the properties to be changed to where I didn't like it. I had the feeling that they're going to be doing a lot more changes here on and here out, and I didn't want to be going through the whole, I learned this new tech that nobody could encounter, and then they nerf the move setup to where it's an extra frame, where that 1 frame difference will not make it work anymore, or not even can do the setup anymore. So that kind of discouraged me on playing Killer Instinct. And not only that, that game was suffering from what the original Street Fighter 4 was suffering, which was everybody played it, and then people started moving on to other games. So I tried my best to keep up with it. After season 1, I couldn't play it anymore. I really couldn't. So that was that. That was the last time I played Killer Instinct. Until I played Killer Instinct today. The time that I played this game, I bought it on Steam, and actually I have the paper when I bought it. I forgot where I put it. I bought it, and I was like, it was, how much was it on Steam? Actually, I got it at a discount because they had a sale, and I got it for $20. Killer Instinct. But this is the difference. This version of Killer Instinct had season 1 through 3, and it had all the characters that have ever been released to this game. Meaning, season 2 had 9 characters, season 3 had 11 characters. You're talking about they had at least 28 characters, and some of them were like guest characters from other games in Killer Instinct. And it was cool. So I was like, okay, got that. Now the cool thing about this version on it, once because it's really considered the completed edition of it, is that when you play through the arcade mode, which is to them is the story mode, you can do the season 1 characters again, and then it'll allow you to do the same setup which they kept everything together, which was cool. You don't see a lot of games do that, where one variation of it is like they kept the original stuff in there from the beginning, and then much later they went back to it just to include it. They did a lot of work to make sure that the heart and soul of the game was still intact, the base of it basically, and you could still visit it in a much later time. Now that doesn't mean you get to use the season 1 characters as their season 1 properties. It's just that they allowed you to use the season 1 characters, and you got to play season 1 through 3 characters as opponents to earn your endings, the same way as the original KI was for season 1. So I started playing it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use Saberwolf again. I know they changed some things on it, but I'm gonna play it as if it was still the way I was gonna play it. And what's cool about it is that the game tells you now how to get each ending. It tells you like a description, and it's up to you to honor those conditions and play it. So I do what it tells me. I'm playing the game. Got one of the endings, got one of the other endings, and then one of the other endings. And I got curious, because I already knew Shadow Jacob was in the game. But if they put the effort of giving you the chance to play against each character in the season 1 settings, I wonder if they kept the reward in the season 1 settings. So I did it again for the fourth run, and I did what the prerequisites were again. But this time, I had the list with me, so I was like, okay, I was keeping up with everything. If I would have lost, I would have started over, but luckily I just kept going, which was fine. And when the time I got to Fuego, it skipped, and I was actually fighting Shadow Jacob as the reward. And I freaked out. Okay, now remember the setting when I played it the first time, I was playing it in my parents' living room, middle of the night, almost midnight, a little bit past midnight. Volume was not up, and I couldn't make too much sound. I now live with my wife. Or my wife lives with me, however you want to put it. We're married, okay? Anyway, the point is that I'm here. I have 2 Bose speakers. I have an Asus monitor. And my wife was not home at the moment. So I cranked up the volume as much as I could on that thing, and I was playing the fight. And let me just say, guys, that was the most fun I've had in a long time in a fighting game. That was fun. Because I was fighting an old adversary that bodied my ass so hard that I did not give up until I was able to beat him and figure him out. It took me 55 tries the first time. This time when I started going again, the same thing happened. He bodied me in the first round. And this is my only gripe. The only gripe that I have because of the way that it's set up. I wish that whenever the ultimate happens, because back then the cool thing about it is that you got to see ultimates in a later in like in season 3. But the ultimates in this game It's in the season 1 setting of the KI for Steam. If you get hit by Shadow Jago's ultimate, it gets cut off in like way too early. Like you die, like you'll start the animation, and then right before in the original animation, you get hit a few times, hit up in the air, Shadow Jago comes up, hits you with the sword, and then you die. This version, you get hit a few times, get launched up in the air. Right while he's about to launch, it ends. It stops right there, and it says ultimate, and it goes to the next. It goes to the next round. It goes to the next thing, and that's my only gripe because they didn't play it out. That was my only complaint. But in any case, I got to fight him over and over again. First turn was 55 tries. Second time was 6 times. I managed to beat him in 6 tries. And my wife came in and she's like, she heard the music and everything. She's like, what's going on? And I told her, I just beat the hardest character in the game on the hardest setting. And it was rewarding. And she watches me play Street Fighter 5. She watched me and she goes, I haven't seen you have this much fun in a while. And she noticed that. Which brought me back to what I was doing before. Is this important in the long scheme of things? Like, is the Street Fighter 5 going to be this fun? That day was literally a solid no. That day I was actually starting to lose faith in the game. I'm like, they're not going to be able to rebound from this. They can't do anything about it. They haven't done anything about it. I started to think like they don't care. There's no reason why they would do this. So that doesn't mean I was going to drop the game. I was starting to be more convinced that people were complaining that this game is not fun. I know why. Because Street Fighter 5 does need an arcade mode. It does need the reward, the reward aspects of the game. It needs that because when you're playing online, yeah, you're playing to get a bit of rank up and show off your status, but that's all you're getting is a status update. You're not having fun in the sense like you get the satisfaction of winning, you get the heartbreak of losing, but are you learning anything from it? And people have told me that they're not learning from it. I've had people tell me like they don't feel like they're getting rewarded. And I've told them is that if you don't feel that you're being rewarded, it's because you're not putting in enough work into the game. And it's true. If you're not putting work into the game, how are you going to see like your results kind of flourish? People are like saying like, I don't know how to beat this thing. I look at frame data. I go to the lab. I actually do stuff. And then the people have even told me, it's like, well, that's not fun. Studying is not fun. I can tell you that for a fact. Studying is not fun. But you learning a bad matchup and actually winning, that's what makes it fun because you actually see the results. People want instant gratification. The old school players want instant gratification because that's how the old games used to be. They want to do easy things, high damage, and be winning. You can't do that in this game. It's more of an honest game. You actually have to commit more in order to actually do good. And I've managed to adapt to it. So that's on on you if you can't hang in this game because one, if you're not putting more effort into it as in training, you're not going to see better results. Now, also if you continue to play the game and you're just trying to learn at it, you got to train with other people, of course. I have a good friend of mine named Todd, who uses Manat and Abigail. We live a good distance away from each other. He's in Texas City and I'm in Baytown. We try to trade every once in a while whenever we get a chance. And I try helping him with trying to do some stuff where he could be able to use it in matches. And he's learning. He's trying to learn still. A lot of people take a little bit longer than others. I'm one of them. And he's one of the few people that actually, whenever I said before you need to learn anything, you need to learn what your character can do, he actually learned all of those things. His only issue is that he doesn't know when to apply it. And that's where constantly playing comes in and training with other people. Each person is different, and I like to see Todd, whenever he's actually playing matches, he succeeds sometimes. He actually takes matches away from other people. He plays almost the same way as I do. But he shows that he's having fun with the game for a different reason. He's having fun because the people that is around him that play the game. He enjoys it more. Like when I'm playing with him, like there's times where someone would beat him in the game, and then I'll go up beside him and I tag him on the shoulder. He goes, "I'll avenge you, my friend." And that to me was fun because we have the same common interest in the game. And then I was like, I'm gonna avenge my friend that got beat up by this other guy, and then I avenge him. And Todd knows that I'm watching his back and he's watching mine. That's what I enjoy. But the offline was not offering anything. So, that was it. I was like, alright, that's as much as Street Fighter 5 is ever going to do. I'm okay with it. I moved on. And I'm just going to keep playing it until I guess something happens. The literal next day, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition was announced. Okay? Now, I'm going to read an article from Event Hubs on the day that it was released and tell you everything on there, okay? So, this was posted by Nicholas Majin Tenshinhan Taylor, October 5th, 2017 at 7:14 a.m. Alright? Capcom announced Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition this morning and confirmed its release date, January 16th. The brief trailer for this upcoming new version of the game boasts of all Season 1 and 2 DLC characters being included, arcade mode, extra battle mode, and an in-game gallery being added, as well as new V-triggers. The V-triggers are confirmed to be second one added to each character, and being chosen pre-match, similar to how you would select Supers in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike or Ultras in Ultra Street Fighter 4. New V-triggers are said to significantly alter the playstyle of each character. You may need to relearn your main, or perhaps try another character which speaks to you in a different way due to their alternate abilities, according to today's Unity blog post. As confirmed to Capcom Unity, this will be a free update for anyone who already owns Street Fighter 5. Although, of course, the DLC characters will not be added for free. The new disc can be bought for people who haven't taken the plunge yet for $39.99. The update also boasts a brand new user interface and color scheme for the game's menu portion. Some images were shared over Capcom Unity via... Okay, so it's basically showing off pictures of what it is. Now, in one of the pictures, it shows off a new mode. They actually added an arcade mode. And this mode tells you the number of battles for each version of it. It's kind of similar to what KI did in the first one, but this is the twist of it, okay? They're doing it by game. Like, so Street Fighter, the original one, the very original one, not Street Fighter 2, the original one from a long time ago, back in 1987, okay? Now, they have that one, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Third Strike, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5. Now, each of these characters that are in this game has at least made an appearance in these versions of Street Fighter. So you have Street Fighter 4, you have eight of the characters from that game in Street Fighter 5. That means you'll fight those characters in a story mode, in the arcade mode for Street Fighter 5, and it'll basically give you like some rewards at the end. But going back into the article, it says, list to Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition features: arcade mode, extra battle mode, new V-trigger moves, gallery, new user interface, season 1 and 2 characters, DLC characters. Now, continue reading. It says, celebrating the last 30 years of Street Fighter, fans will take a trip down nostalgic road with the new arcade mode. Choose from 6 different paths and compete in matches against the CPU opponents to reveal unique endings based on the player's performance. Extra Battle Mode brings a new series of time-exclusive challenges that allows players to use their fight money for the chance to receive an exclusive premium outfit for each month. Complete all 4 challenges each month and receive a special premium costume exclusive to this mode. Capcom notes that there is still more unannounced content on the way. We can expect more details on Street Fighter V Arcade Edition at a later date. So, that in itself, literally the next day when I actually started to lose hope, they come back. They actually say, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're sorry we didn't do anything. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually, we know you guys have been patient. We know you guys have been trying to play this game to its fullest potential. Not a lot of you are happy, but I hope this helps rectify what's going on." Now, for the people that have not played Street Fighter V at all, you can buy the disc and you get the arcade version for $40. And I believe in that disc version, it does include the characters already unlocked, if I'm not mistaken. Although the course of DLC here will not be free. I think it's because you still have to buy them. But with the disc is that you will have all of the stuff in there. You still have to unlock, of course, because of the fighting game. But this is the big one here. For the people that have already had this game, you get the update for free. Okay? I have the Street Fighter 4. I have the PS4 version and the PC version, which is Steam. So I get 2 free updates. And I'm pretty happy about that because I've been putting in the work in the game. I've been investing in it. Costumes, stages that look badass. And it's fun. I actually could say that, earning all the things and seeing all your hard work work out. And Capcom is saying that for the ones that actually stuck with us from the beginning, this is for you guys and it's free. And I'm happy about that. It took them a while, almost 2 years, but they finally did something about it. Hopefully this will bring people back. Hopefully the new V-trigger moves will kind of reignite the lost stuff that was missing before, because it's a good game. It's a good game. I'm not hating on other stuff, but I'm saying it because of the fact that, for one, I'm actually pretty good at this game, and this is the best I've ever been in any fighting game. You can ask any of my friends right now that are currently trying to play Street Fighter V, and then they see me and I'm just trying to do my best and start kicking butt. So the arcade mode is important because that's what everyone's been asking for. Now that it's going to be out and you're getting not just one version of it, you're getting 6 different paths. If people still say it is still not good enough, then there's something wrong. There is something wrong with you. You're just finding excuses to not like the game. Okay? So, Killer Instinct, thank you for showing me what fun is. Because there's a lot of things that Street Fighter V can learn from you, and I believe they're starting to. I hope that's the case. I really do, because I really want this game to succeed. But I do not want it to be left in obscurity. And to all the players that keep talking bad about this game, let me remind you of this, okay? It's not about winning tournaments. It's not about how well you are in the game, because let's be real, it's how much fun you're having. Okay? We live in an age where we criticize games now and say this is not fun, or this is not done, or this is not going to be helping me better myself. Just remember, this is something that we grew up on from a time where the arcades gave us an environment for us to go there, to go hang out with one another and play. We don't have those anymore. Now that we have meetups, whether it be U of H on Fridays or Beaumont for their, for their tournament seasons, Houston for their gallery stuff and all the good stuff going on around there. It's a reminder of that. Hating on a game does not promotes growth in the community. Because people tend to think like, oh, because we're not gonna play the game, they're gonna have to, do better in the next one whenever they do make it. We all understand that if this game does bad, there will not be a Street Fighter 6. If this game does bad, you will not see another possibility of a possible crossover with another game like CVS 2, possibly CVS 3 if they ever decide to do it. Because everybody is very critical on the new stuff. And people just complain. People just cry about it. But I know this is more with Street Fighter 5. And my message to you guys is, if you continue to lose and you're not figuring out why, if you're just trying to just play it and do anything, I'm just telling you this right now, it's not going to work. You have to put in the work. You have to look up some stuff. You have to look at videos. You have to. This is how you play the game. This is how it's done. I'm tired of people telling me that this is a bad game. It's not fun. I'll give you that. It's not fun to be an offline community, but to be honest with you, I have more fun when I start beating up people online and beating people in an offline environment. It shows my progress. And it's going to take me to places where I never considered even going, or even not even thought possible it would take me. Like Japan. So, just remember, guys. Yeah, the game's not fun, but that doesn't mean it's not bad. Just remember, Street Fighter, the original one, was a shitty game too. And all the other Street Fighter games out before it, they were all busted in their own right. Heck, Street Fighter 4 was considered crap because of Third Strike. And people are still trying to play Third Strike. I have not seen a single Third Strike tournament at all since the last few months. Because people finally started to die out. CVS 2, which they recently found a new way that you can play people online, which the game needed, helped renew it just a little bit. But it's only a matter of time to see how long that's going to last. What I did in Street Fighter 5 compared to the other games, I stuck with it, which I still am. And not only that, I adapted. You guys have to adapt. You guys have to make yourself better. You have to get good. And nobody else is going to do it for you unless it's yourself. So what do we learn from all this? What did we learn? There's still hope. Killer Instinct knew how to do it. hope Capcom took notes. And if you're having a hard time with the game, ask for help. Ask for help or get good. Look at data. Look at YouTube. You have the resources and you have no excuse to not to fail. It doesn't matter how much fun you're having, because that's already being addressed already in January. I just can't wait to what the next excuse is going to be. And I'm going to leave you right now with a last message from a friend of mine from a previous podcast from what he told me. And I hope this helps put things into perspective. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Keep on fighting, fighters. Bye. The only thing that I can say is that we could have maybe saved some of the sales of the game already. Because they sold it straight off the bat, $60. Straight off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they shot themselves in the foot whenever they actually said, we're not going to be adding new titles to Street Fighter V. Meaning, Super Street Fighter V.
Because like I said, they would shoot themselves in the foot either way.
Yeah, okay. But here's the thing, though. I think, honestly, they would have just... I think it would have been okay to say if we had early access to the game. I'm using
it was a Japanese company adopting a...
No. Like, using earlier than what we expected. Yeah, it's still going? Yeah, still going. Earlier than what we expected.
Yeah.
Right? This is the Capcom Pro Tour Edition. Yeah. I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with, at least then I'm going to be expecting just the characters, maybe some trials and a training mode. That's it. And some online play. That's it. That would have been okay.
Yeah.
But charging it at $60. Either $60. I would have at least been okay with 40. If 40 or $30, right? Now, until let's say the official drop happens, where it's just saying like, oh, we got the story mode, we have some of the characters coming out already, we got the previews of the DLC coming out, we're adding new modes, then I would say it would cost this much. That would come up with the whole $60.
Yeah,
I would have been okay with that.
I don't think the numerical value of a game doesn't mean much if you continually play the game. Do you think you've gotten $60 worth of content out of that game?
No.
At all? Even though you play it every single day for an hour?
No.
You don't think you've gotten $60 worth of content?
No.
Because I remember paying $60 for Ultra when I was it? $15, $20 when Ultra came out, right? But when initial buying of Street Fighter 4, I paid the full price to get it. And I still have it. I still play it. I think I got my money's worth out of a game. So if I have the opportunity to buy Street Fighter 5 for $60 and a PS4 and a stick and everything that goes with it, I think I'm getting my money's worth because I'm going to be able to play that game whenever I want with people I want all the time. So
what you're saying is just be happy that the game's even out.
No, I'm not saying don't just be happy because the game isn't out. I think that people should readjust because I don't know, numerical value on a game just kind of defeats the purpose of anything because, like, let's say Marvel. Marvel was $60 when it came out, and there's people who still play that damn game.
Well, but it wasn't Marvel vs. Capcom 3 until the next update came out, and that was like only 30 or 40.
I don't remember. I'm not sure what that
anyway, and then since then they made it even worse. So
that's Marvel. That's a whole other story.
No, that's Capcom too. Capcom was part of that.
I don't know.
Capcom just said that, can you fix some of these things that were like there were some game breaking things in there. They're still in there.
They couldn't fix it because they knew there's no point. They knew.
What do you mean there was no point?
They knew adding a game with another people that licensed that they knew that they were going to lose that license. That's why Marvel never got updated. Marvel never got updated and supported because they didn't see the purpose in updating or supporting a game that they were not going to be able to officially endorse or sponsor after the license and rights got taken up by Disney.
That was only 2 years after the fact.
Yeah, exactly. And Marvel still played.
Yeah,
they would have.
That was 2 years after the fact. And not only that,
I bet you they would have.
Not only that, 2 years after, they had time to at least fix a lot of things that were wrong with it.
Why? Why fix it?
Because people paid $60 for it, Henry.
Well, complain at NetherRealm for abandoning the Mortal Kombat PC.
Oh, and they're doing that too. That's Warner Brothers then.
That's Warner Brothers too.
Warner Brothers did
Why
that
is
for
it Warner
that?
Brothers and not NetherRealm?
Huh?
NetherRealm makes final decision, doesn't they?
Warner Brothers does.
Yeah, well then, okay, that's fine.
Warner Brothers
well then,
does.
why can't you blame Marvel for the Marvel 3 being not updated?
Why can't what?
Why can't you blame Marvel for Marvel 3 being updated?
Because Capcom was one that developed it.
Yeah, Capcom
I
developed
understand the
it.
licensing. I
Capcom
understand that.
developed it, but there's no reason to support it if there's no fucking way to promote it.
There was time to get it fixed, is what I'm saying.
Nah.
There was 2 years time.
I think Marvel was designed specifically to be that broken because they saw how broken Marvel 2 was, and it's like, oh, this is what they like. This is how they like to play.
No. Not that the fact that it's broken.
No, it's broken.
I know it's broken. But there's things that actually break it.
Yeah, I know. But
get those removed.
But that's modern gaming. That's shit that's gonna fix. That's gonna break. They don't know how to fucking program it anymore.
But that's not saying because it's Marvel's fault they didn't do it. They just didn't want to do it.
The reason Marvel was no, I don't think it wasn't. They didn't want to do it. I think they just did not have a chance.
They didn't do it.
They didn't. They weren't. There was no the higher ups.
You could look at videos back when Max was saying, "Goes, there's like things that are there."
Yeah, I know there's things broken in the game. But what I'm saying is that there's no point in fixing the game. Like, okay, yeah, they're trying to promote the game or whatever, but there's no point when, on top of that, the development team was an outsourced development team. It was aiding the people who developed Tatsunoko and a bunch of other games like that.
They were the ones that did it, yeah.
And they're gone. Street Fighter 4, everyone forgets that Street Fighter 4 was outsourced to DIMS.
DIMS, yeah.
That was a different company that played it, that developed it.
And then when Super came out, it was under...
I forget who. I forget. It was Game Desk or something. I'm not sure.
Cryware.
Something.
It was a blue cube. I don't remember that.
But
that's...
The Marvel thing's a whole other story because that development team was gone. There's no one there to actually fix the game because they don't have it. They lost... They didn't lose it. They never properly translated the NT Framework engine that they were using to develop the game, and then no one understood how to actually fix it. Especially the people the people who made it knew it, but they're gone. That development team disbanded. They moved on to different companies. So there's no point. There's no way of actually promoting that game. And then they knew the impending loss of the Marvel license was going to happen. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll release some characters, and there was never a patch for Marvel.
That's what I'm saying.
There was never a patch for Marvel because that's the way the game was designed.
Yeah.
And that's the way the game is meant to be played.
But if it's gonna be broken, why sell it? Are you gonna tell me that you enjoy that?
I don't like Marvel 3. It's not my kind of game.
Exactly. Okay, for the people that actually did, for the people that invested, yeah, they still play it now. But how hard is it now to get the game now?
No, you can't really get the game.
You can't get the game anymore. You can't download it.
That's how it
is. Unless you pirate it. That's the only way you can get
it. That's modern gaming. That's how it is. I can't fucking... No one can play Marvel 1 or Marvel 2 anymore on fucking online. Like, you can still play it online if you have it.
If you have it.
If you have it, now it's gone.
Actually, I still have it on my other PS3.
I have my Marvel superheroes and Marvel Origins and all that stuff that's taken off the network. You can't get it anymore. Unless licensing and everything else.
Unless it gets deleted, you could actually re-download it.
Oh, you can re-download it, yeah, but that's about
it. That's the good thing about it. So, okay, we're going like say to like to NetherRealm. Warner Brothers is NetherRealm is part of Warner Brothers. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, they get last say if they want to do something to it. I bought the PC port for Mortal Kombat X. I was so mad when that game came out. It's buggy. Online is basically unplayable, and then you know what? Like I'm like, guys, you know it's bad. It needs to get patched. They knew. You know what Warner Brothers said? Fuck them. They just stick to the main consoles.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we didn't get Combo Back 2. That's the reason why we didn't get GGPO, or not even that. Mortal Kombat X, L.
Yep.
We're stuck with X.
Yep.
So
where's your refund?
Exactly. Exactly. I spent $60 for that game, and I get nothing worth.
But do you feel that is comparable to Street Fighter 5? Do you feel that the Street Fighter 5 problems?
It's getting there.
I don't think so.
It's getting. That's
I don't
what I'm
think
saying.
the Street Fighter 5 problems warrant you complaining about getting a refund.
No, it's getting. I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying I asked for a refund for a thing because like fuck me because I got the game right for Mortal Kombat X. What I'm saying is that they're heading in that direction. They're giving the people a chance to put in their input. Unfortunately, the people that want to fuck over people have the same luxury as other people say that get to put in their input.
Yeah.
Right? I just want them to make good on their promise. That's it.
Which I think they are trying.
And they're trying, and I see that they're trying.
I think it's more of you losing patience, and a lot of people losing patience.
I'm losing patience on this game, and what sucks is that I'm getting good at. How would you rate me a 5?
You're good, damn good. You actually commit to it, and you play it. I don't play it. I play it every once in a while when I get a chance.
Well, that's because you don't have it.
I don't have it.
Right.
I have to travel.
And then that's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you saw how committed I am to it.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, my wife even saw me how frustrated I am. I'm like sometimes I just feel like if I'm I'm starting to question like if I'm wasting my time because.
Hey, Oscar, I'm sorry, but you are now experiencing, which is kind of funny because it's a modern game. You're experiencing the exact same way it is to keep a dead game alive.
That's the thing. It just started.
It just started.
It just started.
But you're experiencing. Imagine how Jesse feels when he's trying to keep Third Strike going in Houston.
That's funny. I laugh at him when he does that.
But imagine how he feels when you're like, okay, this game is great. It's fun. I want to keep it going. How do I do that? I want to get people to play it. Why don't they listen to me? They don't want to play it because this, and this.
Yes.
That's the exact same thing. It's just that it happened 6 months after the game came out.
It's not even that. Wait, February, March, April, May. 3 months? It's only been out for 3 months.
Well, that's people. There are going to be problems right off the bat with
3 months, Henry. 3 months, and people are like, hey.
3 months you're using the casuals. Who cares? They're not the people that are commit.
I play the people that are starting off committing, but then they're falling off.
That happens with every game, though.
Yeah, but
look at the sales of 4. 4 was sold like crazy. Super came out, sold about 3/4 of what it was. Arcade Edition came out, sold about half. Ultra came out, it sold the least. There's a drop off no matter what you do.
Yeah.
There's going to be a drop off on anything.
Because Capcom has shitty plans about the whole game.
No, what their plan is actually what it is, and it's actually kind of genius because the way it's working is, hey, we have these characters that people like. When these characters get released, people are going to have a resurgence to buying the game. I bet you as soon as Balrog hits, there are going to be a lot more people buying the game.
There'll be more people
playing the game. As soon as Urian hits.
Jury,
those people are going to get interested. And
wasn't the Capri in that list?
No, it's...
she's not in it, right?
Not in season 1, at least.
I thought she was.
She
was mentioned.
She's mentioned, but that's storyline stuff. I'm not sure what's going on.
I don't know, but I think she was mentioned as she was a potential.
Season 2 has a whole bunch of rumored people.
But that's the thing, too. If we could talk about how much Capcom should change their shit, but the only way that they listen, and which is probably why they're changing their whole demographic, the way that they're doing shit, is money.
Yeah, it's money.
They saw that's why they apologize. That's why they're saying, "Oh fuck, I guess they don't want this." And unfortunately, it had to get to that point.
That's every business, though. That's no matter what you have. That's the business that money is the potential goal for every company. You can't fault a company for trying to make money off their products.
No,
that's how it's going to be. And if you don't want the product, if you don't want to pay the money, then don't buy the product.
Right.
It's that simple. If you want to play the product, you want to try it out, that's fine. There's 100% ways you can commit to that. But if you don't, then don't play it. You don't have to spend your money.
You have the choice.
You have the choice of not even bothering. You don't have to buy the new characters. You can have your character. Do you want to play Birdie? Play Birdie. That's who you want to play, and that's who you want to commit. It's the same way with Killer Instinct. You don't have to buy the new seasons. You get the updates, but you don't have to buy the new characters. You don't have to buy the new seasons. You can get your main character that you play and just play that character, and that's who you main, and that's who you play against.
But if you don't know the matchup, that's on you.
But you can play against the other characters with your character. You can commit to all that stuff, and you're fine. So that's just like I said, Capcom adopted a business plan and format to Street Fighter V that they're not accustomed to. They saw the success of what Killer Instinct was doing, and they started off rough too. And they started off rough too. Killer Instinct had some issues. There's a lot of online issues.
But you know
There's
what
a lot
they,
of characters.
but you know
But
what
they don't
did?
give a fuck. They're gonna keep going.
Yeah, no, but you know what they did though? They at least told you this is what's going, and that's all I'm.
They
asking for
told
Capcom.
you. They told you.
And they said, and this is what's going to be.
This is the final result. We don't care what you think.
And that's okay, and that's fine.
Fine, yeah.
I'm okay with
Okay,
that.
then Capcom, yeah, they have to learn better PR.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the fucking word you're looking for.
Yeah,
they need to buy. They need to have better PR.
Because all they've been having is
they need
press.
Seth Killian back.
They do. They do.
Like, Combo Fiend's fine, but he don't talk for nothing.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's just like.
Doesn't explain
He guys,
nothing.
so what are your thoughts on the whole rage quitting thing? I'll play the first 5 with Ibuki if you wanna. You know.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll give you-
that's
I'll-
cool.
I'll give you-
That's cool, Peter. But like, we'd like some
answers.
you know.
You wanna play ball
Like
right?
Seth Killian would be like, yeah, we fucked up, but it still plays, so whatever. You want to play? Like, that's basically how he'd be. Peter's like, he's trying to, like, he's like magic tricks. He's like throwing like sparklers.
Yeah.
He's like sparklers on his fingertips. To
He
keep you
pulls
distracted.
the dog out of his fro.
Exactly. It's like, it's just what it is.
But
It's
you
just
know what I
better
mean,
PR.
though, right? That's
I understand. I understand the
that's what I'm
frustration.
saying.
I understand the frustration when you're being told one thing and you're seeing other things and you don't want to. You're like, I want this game to be big and you want to be successful at it and you don't feel it's forgiven. It doesn't feel as prestigious and it doesn't feel as like because people are just down talking it and downtrodden and all this kind of things like that. It's just like it's whatever. My mindset is like, Oscar, you're getting good at the game. Keep getting good. Ignore everything else. You keep committing to your characters. You keep committing to the way you play. And you know what's going to end up happening is that these people who kind of gave up and just play it to play it, you're going to get better then. You're going to beat, and you're going to finally make your name. And you're like, you know what? I committed to the game. You guys flunked out and decided you didn't care. But don't bitch at me when I finally beat you. Don't complain when I finally get my first place that I've been working for a hard time. When you win Showdown, and you have that victory on your head, and all these other people have their excuses. You don't have an excuse because you played it. You committed to it. So just keep that mindset going. That's how it goes. If people don't want to play you, then find new people. If people don't want to learn, if they don't want to commit, they don't want to train, they don't want to play against you, they don't want to put the hours in, then find new people and commit to them. Then rather than waiting on people to commit to you, commit to a new set of people. There's no way, because there's no reason to wait around for people who are going to be lethargic about trying to play. Mm-hmm. You want someone to play, find someone that wants to play. You want to go, you may have to travel farther, you may have to make your sacrifice to do it, but you will do it and you will find people more willing to play you.
I didn't tell you this. Showdown? Saturday. No, not Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
You were there till what time?
I was there late. I left when Duck left, so that was probably like around 2 in the morning.
Okay. I played until 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Outside in the hallway.
Yeah.
On my setup.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that on Sunday because you were there again playing CBS2 all fucking weekend.
Yeah, I had it on my PS3 and like, you want to play, guys? Like, I can play on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, my PS3 was the most famous one there.
Because you had CBS2 on the side.
Yeah.
That's cool.
People were like, is that CBS2? Oh, shit. And everyone,
Yeah, they wanna play.
okay, I guess you can play on it. But the whole thing was that beforehand, when I did the season, I got stressed.
Yeah.
Because of the same thing. Not a lot of people wanted to play the game. Everyone was still like training in the other venues, Insomnia, Game Bros, and all that.
Yeah.
And I was at the warehouse. But the people that did show up, they showed improvement.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad everyone showed improvement, and actually they all placed well as Showdown.
Yeah.
Everyone fucked up the brackets in their own right.
Yeah.
I played to the point to where I didn't care if I won. I just wanted to play.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole core point of the game was to have fun. And I got to say that I did. For one day, I was happy.